Spirit TV, a place for you. This is Code Green, weekdays from 8 a.m. on Spirit TV.
Welcome back. My name is Regretable, and when I'm holding this book, you know exactly what time it is. It's time for Heart to Heart with Pastor Sseggane, the woman who made it through the rain. I told you. Anyway, stories for other days. But yes, beauty in the cracks. Have you got yourself a copy? Because all the conversations that we are going to have and why they are heart to heart, they come from this book right here. It's only 50k and you can get it right from here. Good morning, Mr. Sarah.
Good morning, Stella.
How are you doing?
I'm doing lovely apart from the downpour this morning.
You know I love the nails. You look so good.
Oh, thank you. You look lovely too.
So today we have an interesting question in your say. We asked, do you have any regrettable act that you did for love?
Wow.
I can't wait for this. Let's think of something, but I need this.
Wow. I think one of the things that I regret was giving my heart in the manner that I did without having enough information and knowledge.
Oh, so you feel like there's a relationship you once gave your heart.
Exactly.
And,
exactly. And the others were not really love. So I wouldn't say the regrettable things, whether it's boy and girl thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't really love.
Oh,
yeah.
Now, my story, on the other hand, you wouldn't want to hear it. But also, today, Pastor Sarah, this is part 2 of what we talked about. Remember, we said there is no manual to life. Absolutely not. Even when we tell you A, B, C, D, sometimes you're going to find it rough or rougher than who is telling you. But the conversations that we are having, they are for the people who come from a protected environment. And here you are setting up yourself in the world. Pastor Sarah, as long as I can remember, my mom has been a businesswoman.
Right.
And I remember the first time I escorted her to Owino and Chikubo. We did not have the conversation of what was going to happen. Pastor Sarah, people pulled me, people said the comments, people touched me.
Touched you the wrong way.
I was like, what is going on? Meanwhile, my mom is leading. I'm supposed to be pacing around just to
and
find
it's supposed
her.
to be normal.
Yes. Now, when I think about that, and I think about the one day when I get a daughter, I don't know what I'm going to tell her about when you go through Owino or Chikubo, because I did not have the conversation with mine. Pastor Sarah, why don't our parents have our conversations on what to expect as we move out there?
It's a very good question. Before we tackle that, Stella, I want our viewers to understand that being in a protected environment actually is not wrong.
Yes.
In fact, the way God deals with us, He keeps us in protected environments at different stages of our lives.
Yes,
we
indeed.
start in the womb. The womb is a protected area.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't
yes,
it?
Yes.
Because in the womb, He is birthing something there. He is incubating something that is going to be birthed. When we come out of the womb, He places us in another protected environment, which is also a womb.
Yeah.
We go through several wombs in life. Now, when a baby is in the stomach, it can be aborted, it can be miscarried, right? And the reason for that is because the environment right in there has been tampered with.
Yes.
Or the mother, and usually the mother can do something to tamper with the environment, and the baby will be aborted, willingly or unwillingly.
Yes.
Right?
Or miscarry.
Or miscarry. The same thing when we are birthed. Babies, there's an environment, that's a womb. We are protected until we are of age to step into another womb. In all these wombs, God is doing something amazing. And in all these wombs, there are rules, there are regulations, there are do's and don'ts for a purpose. The Garden of Eden was a womb. And Eve aborted I'm sorry, ladies. It's Eve, it's us, really.
Yeah.
Eve aborted what was meant to be done there.
Yeah.
Because she tried to know.
By breaking the rules.
What exactly? She tried to step out of the environment, the atmosphere that God intended
to
find
birth
out
what's out.
Exactly. Does that make sense?
A lot.
So the point really is, it's not about that you are protected and you're being hindered and you're being stopped from doing this and that, but parents also need to know that what do you do in all these environments?
Yeah.
When is it time for a child to be taught, not to be exposed? There are two different things.
Yeah.
What you don't teach your child, they'll be exposed to. And being exposed is not necessarily good all the time.
Yes.
Because exposure is like you are thrown there. Bam! That's what happened to Eve. The moment she stepped out of there, then she became naked.
Wow.
She was exposed. And by the way, they were dressed up. Even if they didn't have clothes on them, they were dressed up. And now that God had dressed them up in a certain way. They were clothed with glory and whatever. They step out of that. She tries to know what she shouldn't know. At that time, in the wrong time, and then she's stripped. That's exposure. So we are exposed when we step into what we shouldn't step into. There is a time for everything. Now, I'm not sure whether you are ready to go to Owino Market, what age you were, right? But mom, ideally, should have already taught you, when we step out of home to go to this environment, this is how you behave. This is what you're going to see. This is how you need to respond to it.
Yeah.
Right? So, one of the things that parents, I think, stops parents from, talking to their children, it's fear. First of all, it's the culture. It's our culture. The culture that we have been raised. Our culture is beautiful, Stella. But we need a change of mind and a partnership with another culture, which is the Jesus culture.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us we have a religious culture, but we don't have a Jesus culture.
Yes. And our parents mostly.
Exactly. And so that's where we've been raised. That's where we've been. You don't ask, you don't. I have a sister, our second born, who is very talkative. And our parents keep saying that when Vicky was a child, she's second born, the first born is quiet, a flag 311.
Yes.
Vicky is a sanguine. She would ask, even at her age of 66, she would ask questions. So our parents always told us, oh, mwana oyo yabuzanga nnyo ebibuuzo. Obuuza ki mwana wange? But she kept asking, and I think that's the heart. She wanted to know, she wanted to learn. But you answer based on the womb. What womb is this child in?
Yes.
What womb? The teenage womb is different. The adult womb is different. The marriage womb is different, right? So you give information based on that. Fear is another one.
What do they fear?
One, I think that most parents fear the unknown.
What happens if they give us this information?
Exactly.
Okay.
How is she going to use or he use this information? What is this information actually now going to birth?
Yeah.
More questions? More answers? What exactly?
Yeah.
So the fear of the unknown. But in this life, Stella, we have to risk to get everything. You have to risk. You have to take a step. We live by faith.
Yes.
It's by faith, not by sight. Yeah. So fear of the unknown, fear of being rejected by their children. Because Stella, the really truth is that we as parents need to start to speak to our children about us. I am my children's first authentic life experience. I shouldn't expect a counselor to be authentic with my kids when I'm not.
Pastor Sarah, are you at one point, because you told me you have one, are you at one point going to tell them about this?
Now, let me tell you, Stella. I have godchildren.
Yeah.
I have a goddaughter who is she's 18. Her mother struggled. She really wanted to read this book. Her mother struggled. At that point, I think she was about 15. I told her, do this by faith. Prepare yourself for the questions, but allow her to read that book. Allow her to know about her godmother. Allow her to ask me questions, and I'm willing to answer those questions. Because once Stella, the truth, this book tells truth. It's naked, it's raw. In our society today, we love to just tiptoe around issues. We love to cover up things, and these are the things that are eating up our hearts, our marriages, our careers, and everything else. So, let me tell you, I have a son. I don't know if you've reached that stage of the book. I have a son, and our son didn't know. He's right here in this book, but he didn't know. I've raised him since he was 2, right? He's our stepson.
Yes.
Yeah. And the story of how he came into being is for another day. But he's an awesome, I wish I had brought his picture. He's an awesome boy. And he grew up knowing that I am his mother.
All right.
And I write this book. It's time to birth this book, and he's in this book, and he's about, probably he's now turning 16, he was about 13. And he's going to get a hang of it. He's going, we cannot, tetusobola for life.
Yes.
And so I spoke to my husband and said, my husband had to read this book and authorize it.
Yeah.
I said, we need to talk to this boy. We need to tell him the truth.
Yes.
And my husband just couldn't handle that. Because when he knew, he probably thought I was still in a place of pain. But by that time, I had already been healed. Wow. And so I said, I'm going to take this step.
Yeah.
And I sat down and talked to him and told him the truth.
At what age?
He was, at that point, he was 14.
Wow, I can't. Oh, Pastor. Guys, you don't know why we react like this to this book. Because you haven't read it. You need to read this book. And you need it because, like we have said, it is raw, it's naked, it's unmasked.
Exactly.
Heart to heart. Indeed. So, Pastor Sarah, fear of the unknown, fear to
be rejected.
Yeah, to be rejected.
And let me tell you, what I struggled with most was losing that boy.
Because there was a possibility.
Exactly. But let me tell you, Stella, what God has birthed in the spirit can never be taken away from you. Amen. Our children are birthed physically, but they are birthed in the spirit.
Yes.
Our parents need to know that you cannot lose. There's nothing that you'll ever do to lose your child.
Really?
Unless you let them go. Absolutely. This thing is a spiritual thing. It's been held up in the spirit.
Yeah.
So the physical things may show that you're losing them, but if you know where to stand in the spirit, you cannot lose your child. So we shouldn't compromise on anything because we fear to lose our children. Because actually what you don't do can actually lead you to lose your child.
Yes. And I just wanted to remind you that last week you said something, the last time you were here, you said something very important. You said, what you don't know
has capacity
to hurt you
just as much as what you know.
Where else do we go from here? Parents.
Parents need to partner with community, because the truth is that that's why we're having a lot of alternative education systems right now.
Yes.
Where you are partnering. It can't be I take my child to school.
Yeah.
And then I look after them when they come home. It has to be a part. What's happening in the home must be the same thing happening in school. Yes. What's happening in school must be the same thing happening at home. So that you're keeping the womb. Those wombs have got to be watched and looked after, and it takes a partnership. Parents need to step out with the help of God, to step out of fear.
Yeah.
To step out of fear. Because fear is actually a lie. It might be legitimate, but the truth is that it's a lie. It offers you, it tells you what doesn't exist. It paints a picture of what does not exist, right?
Yes.
So if God is in the picture, there is no way we can do anything for the right reason at the right time in partnership with God that will not bless our kids. Stella, the other thing is we need to change our language. For as long as I know, there's a reason why you won't tell a 6-year or 8-year-old about sex.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why you won't tell a 15-year-old about sex in a certain way. You can
Yes.
you can talk to them about sexuality, right?
Yes.
But not sex per se, right? Sexuality is about their body. Your body will respond in this manner. It's normal, you know.
Reminds me of when we are 6 and we ask, Mommy, where did the baby come from?
Do you know how much they struggle? Do you know? We say it from the stomach.
Yes.
How did it get there?
Indeed.
Me and Daddy shared love. Why can't we find language? We need to find language for those different wombs so that stuff is not aborted.
Is it a possibility for Africans, because you talked about the culture that we have, the culture that holds all this information very sensitive. Is it possible for us Africans as parents, as children, to process but also to actually give out this information?
I think it's possible. I think we have limited beliefs. That's the point. I believe it's possible. It's the mindset that has to change.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the mindset. Before we close, Stella.
Yes.
I'm still talking about language. For as long as I knew, or I know, the conversations between parents and teenagers is when they realize that, oh, there's a boy around you. Ojja kufuna olubuto mwana gwe.
Yes.
Mwana gwe ogenda kuswaza erinnya ly'amaka gano. Mwana gwe ogenda kufuna olubuto. Why does it always have to be you're going to get pregnant?
Or sick.
Or sick? Because Stella, it's bigger than getting pregnant.
Yeah.
We cannot be fronting pregnancies. We cannot be fronting sickness. This is destiny.
Pastor Sarah, let me add on to something that came in as an aha moment. Do you know that we have had people who go ahead, they do not even get tested for HIV, because in most cases, pregnancies have been fronted. So everyone says, Ojafuna olubuto. So we grow up hating pregnancy. Funatio olubuto. So we end up falling sick because actually we were not even censored about that. We feared pregnancy more.
Exactly. You fear pregnancy more. You have girls in church who are having sex.
Yes.
Because we have fronted chakufuna rubuto.
So they deal away with them?
They say, echo rubuto is sorted. I can have sex the way I want.
Yeah.
Right? You have girls aborting.
Yes.
Because the pregnancy thing is the one that has been fronted.
Yes.
But Stella, this is destiny. Parents need to raise their kids in a manner, use information, use approaches, use strategies that are actually helping their kids to birth destiny. The conversations have to be, I'm not saying pregnancy is good, getting pregnant at an early age is good. No, it's not good. But the point is, let us have the God perspective, the bigger perspective. You are raising a child of destiny. You are raising a child in whom God wants to birth divine purpose. Tell them that there are things that you will do that are going to interrupt the journey that you are walking with God to birth your destiny. Let us try to point our kids to divine purpose and destiny as early as possible. Then everything else will fall into line. They will know that having a wrong relationship will abort this.
Yes.
Yeah. They will know that stepping into this at the wrong time is going to abort my destiny.
Yes.
That is what it really is about. Otherwise, girls are hating getting pregnant. There are girls right now, there are women that are saying, I wish my mom had allowed me to get pregnant at this age.
Really?
Exactly.
That and
because
more,
right now I'm trying to get kids, I can't get kids.
Oh, interesting. Pastor Sarah, where do people get you? Where do they find you? Baksangawa, how to get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Sarah Sseggane. I am on YouTube, Sarah Sseggane.
You started YouTube?
Oh, yes, I did.
You haven't invited me yet. What else?
I am on phone. And my numbers are, I hope this can be captured, 0772 416 160. 0772 416 160. 0752 416 160. You can actually, I'm accessible on WhatsApp, on the Airtel. And if you can introduce yourself well, I'll be able to respond The Airtel line is the one on WhatsApp, so I'm on WhatsApp as well.
Perfect. There she is, Pastor Sarah Sseggane. If you are like me and you want more of the time with Pastor Sarah, just send us a message. Let us know so that we can push it to our bosses. But also, that's all the time we had today. Tomorrow we are coming back with Code Market. So send us your flyers, your businesses. We shall be talking about them. Pastor Sarah will be appearing here twice a month. But if you want more, ask for more and we shall surely serve you that. Until next time, my name is Ronji Stella. Follow me at BS Ronji.
Spirit TV, a place for you. Spirit TV, a place for you. This is Code Green, weekdays from 8 a.m. on Spirit TV.